Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world.
Really?
Oji.
That was it?
Yeah.
You are by far the worst.
No,
do it again.
I've been sitting here with you.
No, you are by far the worst. No,
Okay.
you have to introduce me again.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Yes.
Do it again.
What's trending with Ojinika?
No, you have to summon your inner Dr. Abati.
Okay.
It is so important. We're waiting.
I'm not Dr. Abati. Carry on, please, Oji.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, Tesla CEO, billionaire Elon Musk on Monday was named Time Magazine Person of the Year. The title is a marker of influence. In 2021, Musk emerged the world's richest person. A year, his electric car company became the most valuable car maker in the world, and his rocket company, SpaceX, soared to the edge of space with an all-civilian crew. In Russia, 18-year-old Vladislav Strozhenkov on Monday detonated an explosive device at an Orthodox school near a convent outside of Moscow, injuring several people. The teenager reportedly tried to blow himself up over alleged animosity towards teachers and students at the school after he was reportedly bullied. He is said to be in critical condition at a hospital. In Nigeria, the Alba of Benin on Monday, December 13th, signed documents preceding the handover of two looted artifacts that were recently returned by the British government to the country. The artifacts, which were looted 124 years ago by British soldiers, will be handed over to the monarch by the federal government at a later date. Under sports, Buckingham Palace announced that Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton will receive his knighthood at Windsor Castle on Wednesday, December 15th, for services to motorsports. Hamilton will become the fourth Formula One driver to be recognized with a knighthood after Sir Jackie Stewart in 2001, Sir Sterling Moss in 2000, and Sir Jack Brabham in 1979. Finally, under entertainment, after widespread criticism forced the organizers of the Golden Globes to lose its televised award show and overhaul its membership, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association announced on Monday the nominees for film and television. Multiple award-winning rapper Snoop Dogg, who made the announcement, read out the list of nominees during a live stream on the Golden Globes YouTube channel.
Best television series, musical or comedy. The Great. Hacks. Only Murders in the Building. Reservation Dogs. Ted Lasso.
Well, let's begin what's trending with this inspiring story of a Nigerian medical student who is also an illustrator. 25-year-old Chiedebere Ibe, on November 24th, posted an image he drew of a pregnant black woman's womb on Instagram, a diagram that is rarely seen in the medical industry. Ibe's stunning illustration quickly went viral, with many people noting how most, if not all, medical diagrams appear to depict Caucasian women. His drawing has since sparked an outpour of support from social media users and has amassed over 97,000 likes on Instagram. Ibe hails from a Ebonyi state in Nigeria and taught himself how to draw during the coronavirus lockdown period. He is currently the chief medical illustrator and the creative director at the Journal of Global Neurosurgery. He dreams of becoming a pediatric surgeon someday and hopes that his illustrations can be used to save lives. Did you see how I was smiling while I was reading this story?
And you know, and God bless Ibe for this. I'm so happy because it has to be said that you see this colonialism and racism spans across every sector, even the medical sector. Recently, there was a story that Sajid Javid, the British Health Secretary, was investigating the fact that some medical equipment make readings from black people higher than for white people. And most of the medical equipment are calibrated to white people. Particular mention was the oximeter. to get oxygen in your blood levels when people have COVID. It was said that the oximeters made people of the BMA origin, the Black Asian minority people, their oxygen blood level, it was marginally different and lower compared to Caucasian people. So across the years, everything has always been skewed against black people.
Yes.
And it's deliberate. Over the years, medical journals will never put a black woman, to have an anatomy like this being drawn or illustrated. It is always Caucasian woman. And all those things have a subliminal of seeping into your consciousness. But what he has just done is to rewrite the paradigm. And please, we want every medical journal, the Lancet and the likes of other medical journals, to start putting this when they're having case study and literature on black people.
That's the whole idea.
It is just to tell the world that black people too get pregnant, and we can illustrate them appropriately. And we need to start rewriting this paradigm, rewriting this narrative. And I'm so happy this happened only a day after those artifacts that were stolen by the British people were returned.
Well, this drawing came out, I believe, on November 20th.
On November 20th,
yeah,
around the period that our heritage was returned. It just showed that this conversation about black pride and heritage matters a great deal. And it also segues into what is happening, with us and UAE, always treating us in a very terrible way, and even British government. We need to rewrite history, and I'm happy eBay has started this, and this will go a long way.
I think he has. You know how shocking it was for me to actually see this particular image, because I just realized that I had never seen an image like that depicted of a black woman's womb anywhere, really, Mr. Ifeni. It is so, it's amazing.
God bless the young man for having this thought.
Yes.
Because clearly, I've never seen a black child in the womb before. And it never occurred to many of us, even great artists of black origin, to correct this. But it took this young man who did not have any formal training as an artist, honed his own skill as an artist, and that pride as a black man, he needed to correct something occurred to him. Something that never occurred to many great artists who have black origin in the past. But he has done it. And I'm sure even those who publish books will take note.
Yes.
Perhaps it was not deliberate against black people, but it was an error that this young man has corrected and is there in the internet. For those who want to illustrate books, they have an option. And you give him the copyright.
Yes.
He will make money from it also.
Yes.
So it's a good one. But for those equipment you reference that, have different reading for, I don't want to believe that it was, those equipment were deliberately calibrated for only white people. Now, as science progresses, you know that there are certain ailments that are peculiar to blacks. There are certain areas that are not universal. And equipment, well, it depends on who you use to test your equipment to get the approval. If it turned out that the reading of oximeter for blacks is different from that of white, I don't think it was because there was discrimination against blacks. It's just the fact of science, which those who produce such equipment have to take note of.
Absolutely. Shall we take another story? The Federal High Court in Lagos last Wednesday declared as illegal any marriage conducted by Federal Registries, saying only the local government marriage registries are empowered by the provisions of the Nigeria 1999 Constitution as amended to conduct marriage. The courts equally ordered the closure of all registries opened by the Federal Ministry of Interior, stating that local governments are the ones empowered to conduct marriages and issue marriage certificates. For this reason, the local government areas have insisted that their powers to register marriages, which are statutorily provided, are being usurped by the federal government through the Ministry of Interior. The Etiosa local government area of Lagos State took the Ministry of Interior and Attorney General of the Federation to court, where they accused the Federal Ministry of Interior of usurping the local government's power to operate marriage registries, conduct marriages, and issue marriage certificates. This is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
What does this mean? I mean, I wish we had our lawyers here to really, dissect the
Mind-blowing.
issue here.
Beyond the legalism
Yes.
of this matter. Now, the UAE Registry, which is just around the corner here,
Yes.
they conduct marriages from Monday, if you don't know, from Monday to Saturday.
Yes.
Now, that registry has been there almost forever. I grew up to meet that registry there. But that registry has not stopped all the local governments in Lagos State from having marriage registries where people patronize and go and consummate their marriages. I did mine at Ikeja, the local government area. My cousin some time ago, who came from London with his wife, they did that at Ibejuleki local government area. But what is at stake here? Because I don't want us to now create problems for Nigerians when we start having, people start having problems abroad. Because many people are holding marriages that were consummated at the UAE Registry. And in one judgment, a judge has declared all marriages consummated there as illegal. So when foreign authorities take off from there, and people start having problems, we won't blame anybody. But what is at stake? The sheer volume of people who do their marriages here. Yes, you look at the law, what does the law say? But is that enough to invalidate all marriages?
This is the question. So what
that
happens
have been
to
done in
all
that
the marriages
registry?
that have been done there? That's the question.
If the revenue, because it's also a source of revenue for local governments. But like I said, the existence of the UAE marriage registry did not stop all local governments from setting up their own marriage registry. If what the law says, according to what the judge has ruled, and I expect perhaps the Minister of Interior or the federal government to challenge that judgment at a higher court, because you cannot just invalidate all marriages that have been done, even before, perhaps, I don't know the age of the judge, even before the judge was born. Because that registry has been there almost forever. But the law, as
Was stated, yeah.
stated in this judgment, will be the law if it remains unchallenged. But again, perhaps we'll get the lawyers to look at
Exactly.
the implication of this. But I don't want us to just create problems for all Nigerians who are legally married. Suddenly, one judgment is invalidating.
Exactly. And then what do you even do with all the marriage certificates?
You know,
Now, it's an illegal document now?
So I see this differently.
Yeah.
I see this as a victory for the local government. Only today we're talking about how the governors have pocketed the local government, and now how the federal tier of government has pocketed the local government by default, by the law. It says expressly and clearly, as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution, as reviewed, that it is the local government that must oversee marriages. The Federal Minister of Interior is well aware of this, but they continue to perpetrate this at variance with the law over the years. This is not the first judgment. In 2018, this case went to court, and the court called for a stay of UAE conducting marriages. But they went ahead. And the point here is they continued, and as they continued, is it that they didn't know about the law? I get your point, Mr. Feni, that they can substitute sides aside because you can't just invalidate everything that people have done over the years. But going forward, the question goes back to this talk about restructuring, to this talk about what the local government gets and what the federal institution gets in this regard. So that's the crux of the matter. If by law, the local government, as enshrined in our constitution, that the judgment made, right? So if the people were well aware that it's the local government that was supposed to take over this, why did the Federal Ministry of Interior take over this responsibility across board?
Well,
because the implication too, we also, by inference, we also say, okay, all the children that were consummated as a result of that union are illegal. It goes deeper than that. But that's why, in going forward, I think there definitely will have to be an appeal to this.
Right.
We'll see how that pans out.
You know, my fear is that some guy who consummated his marriage at the registry, have a problem with his wife, we just stand up one morning and say, Madam,
yes,
I'm not married. No,
yeah.
our marriage is illegal.
But
based on that judgment,
that's what they're
so I'm not married anymore.
Exactly what they're saying. And
Then
then
what
these are
about
not
the
your children?
No, but what
They're
are the
not
children
your
from that
children.
marriage?
That's what
What's going to happen? So I think
this is a big,
our problem is not
it's
just
definitely
the
a
ruling of the
challenge.
court,
It's a big
but
issue.
to invalidate all marriages.
makes no sense. It needs to be appealed,
Wow.
like you said. Absolutely. We'll take another story. I guess we'll take the story since we have not discussed it within ourselves. The row between the Nigerian government and the United Arab Emirates over allocation of flight frequencies to each country's flag carriers, Air Peace Airline and Emirates Airline, may not have seen the end yet. The UAE on Monday directed foreign airlines not to bring Nigerians to their country as Nigerian passengers were denied boarding on an Ethiopian Airlines flight at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. According to reports, other international airlines going to Dubai for their bases have also been directed not to board any passenger with Nigerian passport whose final destination is the United Arab Emirates. Well, by Monday evening, the UAE is said to have revised itself and has now agreed to admit Nigerian passengers. Well, in Ghana, according to a new set of guidelines by the country's Civil Aviation Authority that will take effect from December 14th, airlines will be required to pay a fine of $3,500 for each passenger who arrives the country without being fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The airlines will also be fined if they board passengers without PCR tests or disembark passengers with positive test results. Well, do you have your vaccination card?
Yes, I've got
Are
my
you fully
vaccination.
vaccinated?
I'm fully vaxxed, yeah. I'm
Do you
even
have your
looking forward to
vaccination?
taking the
Yes,
booster.
I'm
Are
fully
you fully-
vaccinated.
I'm
I'm
taking
waiting
the
for the
booster
booster.
soon.
I'm waiting for the booster.
So
Taking the boosters, yeah.
this just came out yesterday. What if I had my ticket bought like last week, so I cannot even fly because isn't a PCR negative result enough for you to board a flight to Ghana at this point? I mean, it's not our responsibility because it is the airline's responsibility.
I'm talking as a Nigerian
yes.
now. If I'm, of course, on this program,
Yeah.
I've canvassed repeatedly.
Yeah.
All Nigerians should go and take their vaccine.
Correct.
Yes.
So if this is what it would take to stop it, to
Nigerians
get some
don't fly.
Nigerians, more Nigerians to go and take their vaccine,
Yes.
I'm all out for
You're
it.
all for that. Okay. Okay.
I'm all out for it.
What about you?
Go get vaccinated.
Yes.
People go get vaccinated. And concerning Nigeria and Dubai, it just shows that Nigeria needs to stand up for itself.
Yes.
And I'm happy that we're doing that. Now, they're saying they're trying to take diplomatic route. We talked about the letter written to Air Peace. Okay, we'll block out this slot for you and all of that. But we should push further. We can push further. The temerity for the UAE to even do this in this place is,
Yes.
in the first place, is suspect. It's just an indication that they have no respect and regard for us. Nigeria is a great country. Yes, it's stuttering now. It's not gotten its act together. It's a sleeping giant. When it wakes, it will shake the world.
Yes, this is what is,
And I
that is
believe
what is
that.
happening.
And that's why we call on our leaders, do right by the people. Isn't this disrespect and disgrace enough?
Yes, that
So
memo
if
that
have
you
the
just read out,
Yeah.
that is granting Air Peace one slot, just
So-
one slot
so-
to fly.
so-
What
so-
happened before? Why didn't they give them the slot that they were asking
So-
for? They decided to give them one slot in Sharjah Airport until we started screaming.
So we
and
have to
banning
scream.
them.
And
Yes.
it's not just screaming. Our leaders need to look inward.
Right.
We keep going to Dubai. Why can't we develop Nigeria into a Dubai everybody wants to come to?
Yes.
And it goes back to the leaders. Do right by the people, not about your political interest.
Absolutely.
But we are a great nation, and I know in my lifetime, I will see this country take its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. In my
Well said,
lifetime.
Rufai. Well, in another development, in the aftermath of the United Kingdom placing countries on a red list over the Omicron coronavirus variant, a video of two passengers who appeared to be traveling to England on an empty plane has gone viral. Let's take a look.
Empty plane. Imagine. Private jets. It's just the two of us. Everywhere don't scatter. Try.
for me, it's you. I saw you cracking up in the slide, but for me, it's the cost implication with all of these bans and putting people on the red list and all of that. Look at that. It looked like a Boeing 777, right? 777, right?
She said private jet. I'm like, that's the biggest private jet in the world. But it's the sign of the times. It's the sign of the times. I'm not surprised. I mean, I think even more funny is the video of the COVID hotel that we showed yesterday in the UK, that people with their £3,000 each, a fire alarm went off, they still had to come out in the cold, and the social distancing that they were trying to, forestall by the isolation still happened. So they didn't socially distance, they were still in each other's faces and all of that. So it's just a sign of the times. And that's why it goes back to the narrative, please. If we all collectively say we can fight this, we should be able to fight this. Take your vaccine if you've not been jabbed. Take your vaccine. Wear your face mask, wash your hands.
Absolutely.
It's a time of our life nobody envisaged to be. I mean, you and I were talking about how you were in New York at the start of 2020 and how you rang the bell into the new year. But we just remember that COVID has taken 1 year of our life and it's taking the second year. So all of us should cooperate and fight this. Take the jab, wear your face mask, wash your hands.
Cooperation among world leaders. World leaders are working towards this, even where we don't have the kind of lockdown we had globally. So cooperation is the word, not one country trying to ban the other. So all world leaders should just cooperate. Of course, everybody at this national level, make effort to get your citizens vaccinated. Nigerians, if you have not taken your vaccine, please go out there and take your jab. It's available. Moderna, AstraZeneca, even Johnson & Johnson. Available in Nigeria.
I love this advocacy.
Yes.
We'll take our final story. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called for an investigation into what he describes as reckless and false comments made by blogger Kemi Olunloyo regarding the death of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni. Kemi, in a series of posts and conversations on Twitter, claimed that the deceased drank engine oil as part of a cult initiation process, which led to his death, and that he was not bullied, contrary to what the boy's father had alleged. Kemi's comments sparked a flurry of angry reactions, with many Nigerians condemning the blogger. In a petition addressed to the Deputy Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, the human rights lawyer said the blogger's comments has exacerbated the pains of the deceased parents and family. Falana asked the police to invite Kemi to explain her false information and be charged to court if she cannot substantiate the comment. I mean, this is so reckless at this point for this woman to have made such inflammatory comments at this very sensitive time in their family's life. I mean, who was she telling? Why would she bring out such accusation? On social media, if you have information, go to court and file your petition. I mean, how did this happen?
And I think the police should investigate. Yeah. But if she's found wanting, the police should do the needful. They should investigate. It's not right at a time like this for all of this. Let us just investigate and get to the end of the story. We've gotten one side of the story, his account, Sylvester's account while he was dying. And this being said, without proof, so she must have to show the proof.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very proud of Femi Falana.
Yeah, is she trying to change the narrative, or she has information? She should be talking to the police.
That's it.
Clearly. Femi Falana is spot on. He is a lawyer to the family, the Oromoni family. So he's spot on. She should be invited by the police to tell the police what she knows about the death of that young man.
Absolutely. May Sylvester's soul continue to rest in perfect peace. That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.